you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, so what? Closure, an album, or is it just Closure appeared last night?
It's the album with 8 tracks on there, and Closure is the single, which comes out. The music video comes out tonight, 7 p.m.
Oh well. Hey, you know what? Congratulations on both of them. Yeah.
Thank you so much. How's your day?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Is your name pronounced Guy or Guy?
Guy Tang,
Guy
but
Tang.
you can
Okay.
call me Guy if you like.
I just want to pronounce it on the way that you're comfortable with. So, hey, Guy, congratulations on Closure and your new album. Didn't you just came out with an album, if I read it correctly?
Yes, I came out with an album in January. It's called More to Me. It's my first album because previous to that, I mainly released a bunch of singles throughout the last 2 or 3 years, and they are conjoined with like my color line, my product line, because I also do hair. So I conjoin a lot of collections with my music, and then I wanted to release a full album, which has nothing to do with my collections of hair and my products. I wanted to do something that's more personal, relate to who I am as a person and an artist, and share with my audience through my platform, like on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So I interact with my audience a lot on all the platforms. When I'm not working, I'm always online.
so
Pretty
so
much.
what so what's the name of this album that just been released?
This one is called Multi-Perspective, and the reason why I call it Multi-Perspective is because there's a lot of collaborations on this album. There's always a feature with other music artists. There's 2 other rappers, 2 other female singers, and I I wanted to have the the lyrics and the story of the song to come from different people's perspectives. So you have me singing, but then you also see it from different people's point of view because like my song Closure, there's my song Growing Pains, New Perspective, which is on the album. These songs are about, some of the challenges we face and some of the heartaches and the heartbreaks and some of the things that we go through as human beings. And having, another feature artist on there to kind of duet and sing back and forth with me. We get to tell our emotions back and forth. So, and I think that it's really important because I know as a listener to music, sometimes we get ear fatigue when we listen to an album because like there'll be like 12 songs, but because all the songs sounds the same or it's from the same voice, the same artist. I feel like sometimes your ears get tired. So when you feature another talented artist, whether it's a female, male, a rapper, it kind of gives your ears like almost like an ear candy. It gives excitement.
So when did you started on this second album, the sophomore album of yours?
Well, the first one was an LP. This one's an EP. So the first album, More to Me, is more 15 tracks. This one's actually there's 8 tracks on there, which is like half of what my first one was. And some of the songs on here were songs that didn't make it onto the first album because I decided it wasn't the right time or the right topic. Or I have another song on here that's called Give Me What I Want,"
Hmm.
and I always intended it to have a featured rapper on there, but at the time there's a deadline, and the artist that I want to work with couldn't, follow through on time. So I had to release the album without the feature artist. So now with this one, I get to, bring the song back to life with a featured rapper that I wanted on there to complete the song and make it more full, you know. But thanks for asking. But yeah, I'm excited about it because this this album being multi-perspective, I feel that for me, both of my albums, actually all my music I ever created, is to fill a huge void that was missing for me in my life was, lack of representation. Growing up, never seeing someone who's a singer who looks like me in the U.S. And I feel like now with social media, there is a lot more because you could go on Instagram or YouTube and find someone that looks like you, live the way you live, and someone who's more relatable. And I think that's really cool, because I feel like in the past, it's always been what Hollywood fed to us through magazine, through media, movies, all these things in the past. But now with social media, we're able to connect with people that are more relatable to us. And I want to be able to fill that void that was missing in my life growing up, like in the 80s and 90s, never seeing anyone that looks like me, or, you know, and we know now more than ever during this, you know, quarantine moment, that representation is really important. And everyone's really coming out with the truth. People are having time to sit and think about how they feel. And that's part of the reason why Multi-Perspective was such an important album for me to put out, is to speak about these things, about relationships that we are all in as human beings, with ourselves and with other people, that we need to see things from other people's perspective other than ourselves. And because through this entire year, I feel like a lot of people's been, you know, arguing about their own opinions. Everything is about me, what I think. And no one ever really listened to another person's perspective, because we're all living inside our heads. We always think we're right. And we think, you know, the world revolves around us in our head. We don't ever think outside of our head. So with this album being titled Multi-Perspective, I want to encourage people to really communicate, really listen to other people, really understanding what someone else and where they're coming from before we judge them. And that's why some of the songs you do hear on there, specifically, you know, Closure, New Perspective, and Growing Pains, those songs really talk about those things. And music is really, really healing. I find that a lot of us who go through challenges, you know, people never think of us music artists as what do you call it, like essential, right? They think like, oh, anybody who's in the arts aren't important. But when you're in quarantine, what do you find yourself doing? You're watching movies, you know, listening to music, and oftentimes music is what heals us. And people don't realize our psychological health makes us behave the way we behave. It makes people get angry. It makes people frustrated, because when you have nothing to grow on as an artist or as a human being, you start to get angry. And it all boils down to, if we're all represented properly through media, our kids will grow up better. You know, if we have kids, or people will grow up being happier because they feel like they can identify with themselves through a media. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. So do you feel you broken down that barrier? Was it a mission accomplished for yourself?
I know for me, in the beauty world, I would say so, because on YouTube and in the hair world, I'm very known for, you know, being that person, and being able to represent beauty in that industry is so important as an Asian American, as a person who's gay. And I think that's really, really important to put out there, because for years, I feel like Asian men have never been represented properly through, you know, music or movies, or entertainment. So usually when you watch my music videos, I do hypersexualize myself a little bit. I do put myself out there with extreme confidence, because I feel like that needs to be shown. Because when you are brave and you show people you are brave, it inspires and influence people who watch you to be more confident in themselves. And also, you know, when you exude confidence, and when you put that sexuality out there, people will believe in you when you believe in yourself. And that's the most important thing. And I think, you know, as an Asian American, we were never given that opportunity. People never really invested in an Asian American voice, because they don't think we sell. But now you can see with K-pop, you know, with Korean pop and Korean drama on Netflix and everything, and Crazy Rich Asian movie, you know, that it's time for a change. People are ready to see different faces, all types of faces and all types of cultures, because it gets boring, you know, recycling the same thing over and over again, a remake of a remake of a remake. but then having someone like myself always playing a side character, like you always see, like for example, even with gay men, we're always seen as the girl's best friend, you know, to make sure her hair is in place and her earrings match her shoes. And every movie has always been seen that way. And also in music videos, gay men are always seen as like, you know, when they're under a label or management, it's almost like, well, people know you're gay, but don't be too gay. Don't show people, like people don't want you to see you actually kiss a guy. So you play this like, you know, glamorous, like extra diva character because that's how they want to know you, as this like yes girl, like that type, you know, and that's fine and everything, but they don't want to see you actually do things that we do in reality, you know. And but yet straight people can kiss in music videos and hold hands and make love and do all these sexy things, but for some reason as a gay artist you get, you know, restricted to being more commercial and being more safe. And I feel like we should be more normalized. Everyone should be normalized, no matter what color, what you know, your sexuality is. It should be normalized because we do exist, you know. And I always want to break down stereotypes. You know, like for me, having long hair as a man, there's always been like, you know, men are supposed to have short hair, girls are supposed to have long hair. There's all that type of stereotype that makes us feel like we have to look like a cookie cutter image. And for the longest time, I was like that person that felt like, oh my God, I have to keep my hair short because that's what people want me to look like, you know, because that's what makes me a boy or whatever. And I got really tired of it. I got really tired of it. I was like, you know what, I'm going to do me, you know. And then you look towards artists like in the 80s, back in the day, when there was Prince, Boy George, Michael Jackson, and they were so androgynous. They were in makeup, they had long hair, they were extra. And for some reason, it seems like we're going backwards as we're moving towards now, where all of a sudden this is what a man's supposed to look like, and this is what a girl is supposed to look like. And it's like, wait a second, all people are different. You know, I think all types of people with different looks, men with long hair, girls with short hair, you know, gay, trans, Asian, whatever the case may be, we need to believe in ourselves because, and then if we can put ourselves out there through Instagram and YouTube, there's going to be people out there that can relate to us, and we can empower them because, you know, like, and that's the reason why I don't really watch that many movies anymore. I don't gravitate towards like your traditional media anymore because everything is so heavily marketed and force fed to you, where I gravitate towards somebody I follow on Instagram or YouTube because they're more real, more relatable. We find something within them that we see in ourselves. And you know, like for me, I remember when I first found this amazing makeup artist named Michelle Phan on YouTube. She was like the biggest makeup artist on YouTube. And she inspired me because I was like, whoa, she's an Asian female leading the beauty industry. She had like all these people following her. She came out with her own makeup line. And then we became friends. We became really good friends, which wasn't planned. It was by accident. She reached out to me to do her hair. And then now we're really good friends. We stay in touch all the time. And just having that community and knowing that we can see people that look like us, it helps us believe in ourselves. So I go like, whoa, you know, I can put myself out there and do what I believe in. And through music, I find that when I put my music out there, I get these DMs and emails and messages from so many people where my music helped them. And even if they don't look like me, even if they're not Asian or gay, they could be anyone, but the lyrics and the things I say musically, it gets in touch with people. And you realize that I realized my purpose became much more bigger than myself. When I make music, I get to help people heal through pain, help people get through so many things. I got this email the other day from a man that I guess he was going through a divorce because his wife was cheating on him. And he was heartbroken because she was his best friend and he didn't know how to get through this pain. But him listening to my music lyrically has helped him, you know, heal through, you know, just by crying and listening to my music, I said, whoa, that's a big deal to have that responsibility, to have that purpose, to do that. And that's what helps me continue doing what I love to do, which is singing, songwriting, being a music artist, you know, being part of the musical direction of where I want to head with my music. So
You always wanted to be a singer-songwriter yourself, Guy?
you know, yes, I always have growing up, but I never thought it was possible because you look at all the artists, you really don't see anyone that looked like me back in the 90s or 80s. So it's like, oh, it's impossible. Why even try at that point? It's like, I don't need to try. It's never going to work out. And then, you know, I remember in my early 20s, like I was 21, I wanted to record a demo. And at this time I was living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I met a producer and I went to his studio and I recorded like 3 songs. But the problem was I couldn't afford to pay it back then. Like I didn't realize how expensive it was. And then when he was like, oh, you know, it's this much or this much. I can't remember how much it was, but it's definitely in the thousands. And I was like, oh, I'm waiting tables at the time and I didn't make enough money to pay it. I was like, you know, so it was very difficult. So I go, you know, this is just a dream that I couldn't pursue. It's impossible. I will never have the money to pursue it, to create a demo. And because at the time I was like, oh, maybe I could drop off my demo to like a record label or send it to MTV or something. I remember my process back then. And then I kind of just swept it under the rug and just moved on and pursue other things like that brought me joy, like doing hair and becoming a hairstylist, going to beauty school. And I did that for the last 16 years. And all of a sudden it resurfaced because I remember on YouTube, I would make like covers. I would sing music from other artists and upload my covers to YouTube. And they got a great response. This was like 10 years ago when I did this. And I took them all down because I'm in a whole different place. I start making only hair videos, tutorials, and all that stuff. And then I felt like I was missing a huge part of my life, something I'm really excited about. And so I want to go full force into making music to fulfill that huge gap that I felt like I never got to live. And now that I get to do it, you know, because I have so many friends who make music independently, who sings and songwrites. And then I was like, you know what, I need to take it to the next level. I gotta have an awesome music video to you know, really showcase me and who I am, and anyone who looks like me, and be proud, you know? And okay, you know, listen, we've watched MTV growing up, like TRL, and it's like, it's all the same thing, the same people, the same type of artists. Yes, we love them, but I go, oh, you know, there's gotta be more. And I found myself when I was a kid in the 90s, I was listening to K-pop. I would go to my Korean grocery store, rent a Korean video of music artists and watch them and go, oh, they look like me. I could be that person. I identify with them. Even though I'm not Korean and I couldn't speak Korean or understand Korean, the way they look, I can identify with because they were Asian. And I became K-pop obsessed. Right? So for me, I was like, I want to fill that huge gap for Asian Americans. And it's hard because even filling that gap, because I am gay, because I am who I am, you know, there is a resistance. We always have to deal with resistance. People hating on you, people wanting to not believe in you, stop you in your tracks and tell you to stop doing what you're doing. But you can't listen to those voices. You gotta listen to those, you know, to yourself, and also listen to those DMs and emails and the fan mails that I get from people who go, you changed my life, you saved my life. Those are the voices I had to listen to and block out the negativity. And that's the hardest for anyone to get past that hump, to get past that negativity. And through negativity, I actually get even more inspired. I end up writing more because the more they make me mad, the more they make me feel some type of way, I start writing down my feelings, and then I take it into the studio and turn it into a song. So before, when I get mad at anyone in my life, it was really hard for me to get over it because there's no way I could ventilate. But now, with music, I just write a song about it. And I help set that free, that anger, I set it free. I no longer hold grudges because I get to, put it all into each song and turn it into something.
Wow, that's quite an accomplishment for yourself. So during this journey, what changed? Are you just self-published, or did you actually have like friends and investors to help you out?
Well, it all started off independently, and most YouTubers, I'm friends with so many YouTubers. A lot of us, some of us do music, and all of us do music independently. Now, the best part about being an independent artist is that no one tells you how to be, what to release, how to release. It's not marketed, and it's more real. It's from the artists themselves, and this is what they want to say, how they want to put themselves out there. The only situation with a lot of independent artists is that they don't have the funds or the budget to put into bigger production music videos and to promote themselves on the radio. Because the reality, and this is a side most people don't know about, is that to get a billboard, to get in magazines, and to get on these radios, there's like so much money involved, marketing and money involved, and a lot of people don't know about that side. And with a label, they can push that, but as an independent artist, you're doing everything independently. But through social media and our following, we could reach our wide audience through Instagram and our own audience, and so I prefer to go that route because I don't like to be controlled or owned. But I have a lot of plans in the works. I'm finishing up my second LP, which is my full-length album that's coming out early next year, and it's going to be conjoined with something much bigger, which is I can't say too much about it, but it's going to be involved with a show, and I'm super excited about it.
Well, let's talk about your first single out of this EP here, Closure. Why is Closure going to be your first release? What's so special about this song here?
Closure, I chose it to be my first single off of this album because, one, I'm really, really proud of the melody, the story it took, because my producer that I work with on this song, I've never worked with him before, so he's a newer producer I work with. His name is Aaron, and I actually found him through a girl named Jordan Kane, who is featured on the song, because I worked with her before, and she's an amazing vocalist. She has such a wide range of like an octave range that's like from low to high. She can mimic any type of voice. And I always love having a female voice in there, but her voice is so beautiful. I was like, I want you on this. And she's also an amazing songwriter too. So I came in with a melody in my head because he gave me the production, which, when I went to him, I referenced sounds that I like, an R&B sound that I like, that is my taste in music. He gave me the production, I listened to it, I hear the melody in my head, and I start doing a voice memo on my phone. I start recording the melody that I hear, and then I start hearing a couple lyrics in my head. So I write those things down, and then I go in, and I presented it to my producer. I say, this is what I hear in my head. And then Jordan was there, Jordan Kane. She came up with a whole nother melody to go on top of the melody that I have in my head. But then I didn't want to let go of the melody at the pre-chorus. So we end up intertwining our ideas together. She'll have her melody with my melody, and it kind of intertwines. And it creates this harmonious, beautiful sound. And then lyrically, I want to talk about something that I think we all go through, is breakups, relationships. Like when we have a separation between, it could be a business relationship, a friendship, a romantic relationship, whatever type of relationship it is. Anytime you have a breakup or a fallout, the hardest thing for you to get over is when you don't have closure. We all seek closure. We all want to know why. Why did you cheated on me? Why did you leave me? Everything is why. And I hear that in my head, and I want to repeat that throughout the chorus. We always ask why, because we always think it's us. Like, am I not good enough? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something I could have done? Where did I go wrong? What did I do? And we seek that closure because we want to understand, we want to better ourselves. We don't want it to happen again. But without that closure, we leave always wondering why. And then we hold resentment, we hold anger, frustration, and then we become this negative person because we don't have closure. We start hating people, stereotyping people, and we lash out at people because we don't have closure in our life. And Lord knows I haven't gotten closure from a lot of things, but you know, success is always the best. Like when you show that you can rise above something, you always beat, you know, override the closure that you didn't have. That I feel. And that's why this song is so important to me, because I love the cries and like you hear lots of cries in the song. It's very emotional, which I feel is missing in today's music, because in today's music, everything I feel like it's all about shaking your ass, twerking, and you know, people are talking about their private parts, and which is great. We need music like that, but everything is just it has no meaning in it. You know, it's just like something hooky, something catchy with a nice beat, and that's it, and it's fun. I want to bring feelings back. I want people to feel again. I want people to cry when they listen to a song. I want people to feel it in their hearts when they listen to the song, and that's what closure did for me, and that's why I chose to release it. And with the music video releasing tonight at 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel, I wanted the music video to be very clean, very simple, to really just showcase me as a singer, as well as Jordan Kane, the featured artist on there. And I could say I'm very fulfilled with this song, because this song was a dream come true for me. It's to make a power ballad that's R&B, that's a duet between me and a talented singer like Jordan Kane and herself. And she's been in, like, she does voiceovers for like cartoons, Netflix shows, and movies, and I go, you know what, I want people to see her and her talent, and to have both of us together in this song, it just makes me super, super happy.
So I take it you're not showing your abs, your washboard abs in this music video tonight.
You might get a glimpse. You might get a little glimpse, because we can't not do it. You know, you got to show a little bit of it, a little sprinkle, just a little dabble, just to break stereotypes and prove a point.
Most excellent. So who else you also have on this EP of yours that you just premiered?
You know, interestingly, okay, so I have a good friend of mine named Keon. He's also a music artist. He's a rapper and a writer. And he's a lot like me. He is also a hairstylist. He's also an educator for multiple brands and companies. And he's super, super talented. And we've been following each other for a long time, but I never knew he makes music. He knew that I started making music, but then all of a sudden I saw him, you know, posting videos of his music. I go, oh my God, we have so much in common. We both are people of color. We both are a hairstylist making music. So there's that sense of, you know, we understand each other. There's that sense of like how when you found success through one category like hair, people start to typecast you, stereotype you. They don't want you to be anything else other than what they know you to be. And this holds true with so many music artists or actors. Anytime we know an actor playing a specific role, it's like in our heads, that's all we want to see them as. When we see them acted other roles, it's almost like in our head, it doesn't register. We only see them as one thing. So they get typecasted. So when you find success in something, people just want to box you in. And I think that's the hardest thing for a lot of people who found success in one thing and want to branch out, whether they're a music artist and they want to be an actor, or an actor going into being a music artist. But the most important thing is you got to go with what you stay true to you. You believe in yourself. You put yourself out there, and people start believing in it too. Because hey, it took a long time. Because 3 years ago, when I first released my first single, people there's like two extreme people. You know, like one will be like, "Oh my God, this is so cool," and then the other would be like dismissive. They're like, "What is he doing? Who does he think he is?" But then I kept going, song after song after song. By the 12th or 15th music video, people started to go, "Oh, he's not stopping. He's going to keep going. So you better get used to it." And I let people know, you better get used to this, you know, because this is what I'm going to do. And there's so many people now that do multiple things. And so that's why with Keon, I go, I want you on this album with me, not just one song, but two songs. Let's do something. And it's really exciting. And I although I am excited about this EP, I'm like in the studio already finishing up my album that's coming out the beginning of next year that I'm super excited about as well. So it's like there's all this anticipation and so many new surprises, and things are getting more and more exciting for me. So
I am surprised with between the hair and your songs. I can't believe you have all this time to do this.
well, you got to make it work. You know, I have a brand, a product line, an empire to run here. But at the same time, I got to live my life and do me and be creative and be a music artist. I have a YouTube channel to run. I have clients that I still do, and the thing is like I'm just so grateful and so happy to be doing what I love, because these are all facets of me that I love doing, and I can only want this to inspire everyone else who's like me to feel like, hey, you can be more than what people want you to be. You could be multiple things and live your multifaceted things. And I'm sure you can relate to this. I'm sure that you've had moments when people doubted you. I'm sure you have moments when people go like, what do you think you're doing? They're questioning you. And you had to like do it for yourself. I'm sure you've faced this before. I know it's not just me.
Yeah, well, absolutely. The only person that I want to accomplish for is just for myself at this point.
Yeah, you have to. And I'm sure you can relate to some of the things that I've talked about. So,
Well, hey, you know what? I'm actually glad, because you're right. I don't see too many Asian representations or Asian gay representation out there. So I think you're doing a great job.
well, there's a stigma, I feel like, as if it's not hard enough being Asian American, being gay on top of that, it's like you get outcasted, you get dismissed. You feel alone, because it's like there's no representation and there's no support. And culturally, like if you're first generation American, your parents came from a different background, and sometimes it's not even just that, but just people in general. If you're in certain parts of the world here in the US, there's closed-mindedness that stops you because you look different to so many people. And I grew up in Tulsa, Oklahoma, so I was the only, if not one of the only Asian kid in my school. Got picked on, got bullied, got attacked, had a gun held to my head. Listen, I've endured a lot of racism growing up. So if anything that came out this year is that it really helps people wake up and be aware of how important representation is, because if you want peace and harmony, you got to represent everybody. And everyone's always talking about like peace, harmony. Let's go back to the way things was. No, we need to move forward. We need to progress. We need to grow. We need to evolve. We need to figure out what wasn't right so we could improve on it. So, and even though 2020 has been a crazy year, obviously, there are a bunch of things that just make us woke. It just like wake up a lot of people, bring them to realization. It's like cleaning house. We got to clean house, figure out how we get to organize things and how can we improve on these things, you know? And so, I'm seeing so much progress already. And I'm just hoping within the next 4 to 5 years or 10 that this progress can really expand and show more diversity with different types of people, whether it's simple things like men with long hair, women with short hair, you know, and there's one extreme to the next, you know. It's like it's interesting because it's like people judge you when you love yourself too much. They say, oh, you need to love yourself. And then when you love yourself, then you love yourself too much. You're egotistical and you're conceited. And it's like, come on, you know, at the end of the day, if someone is proud of who they are, I think that's more inspirational than someone, but however, we're all going through a journey. Mm-hmm. So that's why we can't judge anyone. Multi-perspective here, right? That's what we're talking about, multi-perspective. If someone is, having some challenges, we have to understand where they're coming from. We have to understand that they're going through a journey and they're not there yet. And even when they get there to their destination, they're still growing and they still need to get to know themselves, because they're not the same person they are today that they will be tomorrow. Because when you learn something new about yourself every day, you're a different person. We learn from our mistakes, and I think in today's world, people are always trying to cancel people and like cancel everyone. We have this cancel culture going on, and people aren't given a chance to make a mistake. And we have to understand it's okay to make a mistake. It's all about your intentions. Because I've had some people I know say comments that I question. I'm like, wait a second, that didn't come out right. That's disrespectful. That comes off like homophobic or racist or whatever the case may be. But I have to realize what's their intention. Maybe they don't know. Maybe they're trying to impress me, but don't realize wrong things come out of their mouth, because Lord knows wrong things have come out both of our mouths, yours and mine. So giving people a chance to learn, and also understanding their intention, because if their intention was, innocent, then they mean no harm. We don't need to cancel people, just listen to them, let them grow. So that way the anger don't continue. Because I find that when we're quick to cancel someone, that person is going to be angry and start hating and be the main cause of the problem you're canceling them for. So if you give them a chance and open up your heart, they'll learn from it, they'll grow from it. And is to see things from multi-perspective, because like I said, every day is a new day.
I think that's great advice, Guy. So let me wrap this up real fast, because I know your album is out on iTunes. Can we also find it out elsewhere too?
Yeah, Spotify, Amazon Music, and I was told Google Play no longer exists, right? So that no longer exists, but you can find it on YouTube. Although I've been having so many people message me and want me to make vinyl, make a CD, because people want to buy physical, like people who really want to collect and hold a physical album up. There's been requests for it. I'm thinking about it, but currently I think that most of us are all on digital platforms. So definitely wherever you consume music, you can find my music on there. Just search Guy Tang. And also you can follow me on Instagram and YouTube, because YouTube is important. That's where you can see all of my music videos. It's all on YouTube. So, and Facebook as well, obviously. Twitter and TikTok. TikTok's this new thing. I love TikTok because you get to put your music on there, and it's for anyone who has short attention span. They could go on TikTok because everything is like less than 15 seconds usually. So TikTok as well. So
it sounds like you're everywhere. Well, hey, thank you for this conversation, Guy. And by the way, my younger brother has long hair, so so he could actually pull it off, just like you. I tried it. I tried to grow my hair out. It's just too uncomfortable for me.
Listen, let me show you how long this hair has gotten. Look at this. Look at this. I've never had hair this long before, because I've reached a different phase in my life. where I'm just like, I don't care anymore. I'm just going to do me. I'm going to grow my hair down to my butt crack, and I don't care what anyone says. It's an evolution. We got to, try different things, do different things, and live. So, and I appreciate your time. Thank you for having me on on this, and be a part of everything that you do. So thank you.
Hey, not a problem. And when you have your next project, keep me back in mind, and we'll talk about your next thing too.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. Thank you. Bye now.
Bye.